see you this evening. We're a little bit later than usual, but I think we're within reason, and everything is going to move ahead smoothly. You might think that we're up here in the off-grid mountains, living a tranquil, peaceful life, but the truth of the matter is, we go to town quite a bit, and today we went to town for so that Daniela could see her personal trainer, which is very important to her. And I support her. It's not easy to live up here, so we go to town like twice a week to so she can get her personal training. But we also pick up supplies. We go to the mailbox. And lately, we all enjoy 2 scoops of ice cream at our favorite ice cream place. I guess I can mention it's called Scoops. If you're in Kingman, it's a pretty cool place to get some ice cream. I get 2 cups, one with obsidian, which is a dark, like a chocolate, a double chocolate. And then on the top scoop, I get pistachio ice cream. I don't waver. I get the same thing every time. And it brings me to the idea of I want to talk just briefly about food in a way that most of you probably don't understand, but I want to go into this just shortly because it came up as an issue. I am I was raised by people who went through the Great Depression. Okay, my mother and father, my aunts and uncles, they all talked about the Great Depression. You did not, when I went to my aunt's house, if you left any food on your plate, you couldn't enter the much lauded Clean Plate Club. You would not be a member of the Clean Plate Club, and that would be a scar on your resume for the rest of your life if you didn't join the Clean Plate Club. It was just and my cousins, my aunt and uncle lived in a very big mansion. They were very wealthy, but still it was unheard of in their house, at least. In my house, my parents were a little more loosey goosey, but they always talked about the Great Depression. My parents did not guilt trip us. That's why I am the way I am now. I didn't get a lot of guilt tripping. That my parents were they were pretty easygoing. I'm just going to take a minute to turn down the swamp cooler. It's too noisy for me. That's my scaffold back there. But I just want to mention for a moment that I have never recovered. And that's why things are so important for children. That's why we must watch what we do to our children. And I was pretty, I was very much 100% there when it came to raising my boy. Here's the thing that I want to explain. There's a member of our community, Daniela, who has a lot of issues with food. She I don't want to go into the whole thing, but she had eczema. She associated the eczema with food, and she is relentless about only eating things that have never touched plastic and are organic to the degree that the best way that we can find it. I mean, getting things organic these days, you can get things that have no seeds, like a fruit, like a melon that has no seeds, and people are calling it organic. That is not an organic, that is a hybrid uh, fruit, and it is not something that I would choose to eat. At any rate, it just so happens that I was raised by to be a member of the Clean Plate Club. Not like I said, not so much at home, but at my aunt and uncle's house. We ate by them at least once a week. So I, not having in this community, the two of us are young. Daniela and Lawrence are, he's maybe in his 40s, she's in her late 20s. I'm in my 70s. James is, I don't want to say, but James is closer to me. But the interesting thing is that James was raised by his grandfather, and his grandfather was born about the same time as my father. So I went to James and I said, I am absolutely an intolerant, horrendous human being when it comes to people who are picky about food. I just have no ability. There's no wiggle room. There's no mercy in my heart because I have always, I don't know why, because I grew up in an upper middle class family, but it's probably a reincarnation thing. I have always been grateful for food, always. I mean, yeah, I'm sure I was incarnated in the Holocaust and all that other stuff, but I just have a natural appreciation, and I don't sweat the details so much. If something isn't 100% organic, I would probably eat it. But except that when Daniela is around, I'm careful to be observant in a way that doesn't piss her off because it really makes her crazy because she loves me and she doesn't want to see me eat anything, any microplastics or anything that could be incredibly harmful. But I went right to James. We had an issue with some food that she refused to eat. And I went to James. I said, James, do you understand? Was your grandfather like my father, that he was always talking about the Great Depression? And he said, yes. He said, yes. In the old world, the old guys, you did not. And I am like that. I never. What milk do we drink? We drink raw goat's milk. That's the milk that we're drinking now. We occasionally drink raw cow's milk, but we would never even think about putting like homogenized milk into our bodies. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I made a fuss. I'm explaining to the world why I should be explaining this to Daniela, but I'm explaining it just because I think it's an issue that a lot of people have dealt with. But James understood because James's grandfather was born in 1919. My father was born in 1920. And I'm sure there was a lot of similarities between the two men. They were both in World War II. They both, like my father was an Eagle Scout. James's father left America to move to the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, and he owned a lot of land. They were probably the same kind of folks. But James understood immediately when I said, I just have no tolerance for people who can't eat certain things. And that's just because I was brought up to be a member of the Clean Plate Club. It was just like if you weren't a member of the Clean Plate Club at my aunt's house, you would be ridiculed and attacked it was just not done. I've always been, it's this is how souls, we are souls and not bodies. Like I went to college, regular college, and people would complain about the food and I would just be like, I would go nuts. I'm like, what are you complaining about? We had this beautiful salad bar. Remember University of Rochester? They had a beautiful salad bar and people were like, oh, they don't have this. And I'd be like, what is wrong with you? We have delicious, beautiful food here. Now, there's an issue in terms of course, with the cabal has fed us all kinds of poison, seed oils, microplastics, Teflon coated pots, All these things are designed to medicine. That's all these things are designed to what do you think? I mean, I don't even want to say it. I was looking at my YouTube thing. I was thinking, could I apply again to be monetized? And I saw that I now have a strike against me. I mean, I've been through this 15 times with YouTube, which and they said that I'm sharing dangerous information. I'm sharing dangerous information with people. Dangerous misinformation. I forget how they put it exactly, but it makes me want to puke because is it dangerous misinformation that the vaccine is designed fill in the blank? I didn't take the vaccine. I did. They did shove something up my nose. So I mean, we probably got it in the air anyway. But it doesn't matter. That's not the point. Dangerous misinformation that I'm spreading. That the food in you. I mean, this is so. This is such a shamda. There's no translation of shamda, but it is such a pathetic, disgusting crime against humanity perpetrated by these big tech media companies to call telling people that your food, your medicines, your air, your water, your toothpaste could be dangerous. It's not misinformation. And I was just looking at, there was this thing about Ozempic, I think it is. They were saying how it's crippling people. And that's misinformation. I mean, and maybe they'll take down this video. I don't know. But I'm not going to stop doing this. I am a warrior to some degree in terms of spiritual information. You're not supposed to expose the baby eating elites, right? You're dangerous, right? Exactly. I mean, like they're eating kids. Say it in I could die. I could expire if I let myself examine all the podcasters in the world who are successful now and they're making money, Joe Rogan and all these people, and the fact that I get like $100 a month for I don't care. It's not about the money. This is, I mean, who knowing what I know would not do this? Who would be so vain, so sick, so demented, so selfish as to not share with people what's really going on? Who would do that? I have an audience, and my audience, oddly enough, seems to be growing. I mean, that's kind of like the rumble I'm getting underground. My numbers don't go up. I'm shadow banned, but at the end of the day, my voice will be here. I know that. I mean, it may take 5 years, but all these videos are now online and they cannot be taken away. Or I hope not. But if you want to see my videos from 8-9 years ago, you can go to Rumble. Rumble never took me down, and I posted a lot of videos on Rumble. Thousands. Okay, so people aren't ready for my message yet. That's okay. You are, but that's what Caspa said from Quantum Bridge. She says, Ellie, you've already done the work. It's already out here. It's there. Somebody in 3 years is going to wake up and go, wait a minute. Seed oils are bad for you. It says on the label, health food. It says, quantum healthy spaghetti sauce made with canola oil. Let me just say this in a calm way. Maybe it won't get flagged. If you haven't figured out that they, and you know who they are trying to kill you, maim you, poison you, make your children disabled. If you haven't figured that out, God bless you, man. I'm jealous. Can you imagine going through life still thinking, the government, they have my back, and if I can't eat something, it's because it's not good for me. There are people who still believe that. It's just for my own good. Ugh. When you live in the desert, ice water is beyond delicious. It becomes a fundamental necessity. We're listen, we're working on it. We're working. We've been trying. That's what we've been doing in our spare time, is trying to get a child. Yes, that's something the audience, you have already know that. Yeah, absolutely. The audience knows that. But aren't you guys a little bit jealous? Yeah, you guys know. I hope you know that. But I also hope that people that don't know that are drawn to this, are allowed to see my videos. There's a lot of shadow banning of my videos. But I know I know you know that, Patty. I'm hoping that people that don't know that will be driven and drawn to this channel. It's very entertaining to watch the podcast, just to watch Fox News, but it's so far from reality. So I'm going to play a little short video that I think is puts things in perspective right now. This video is going to be about the idea of leaving the Matrix and heading for the promised land. I think that's where we're heading tonight. But I want to play this video because, and maybe I'll share more information, because I don't feel really driven to make any particular point other than Brian Best, spiritualbeingcoffee.com, organic coffee brewed in small batches by a master. He's unbelievable. If you have the good fortune to be in Prescott, home of Wyatt Earp, Arizona, you can go and visit Brian Best and Corinne and have probably the best cup of coffee you will ever have, son. You don't have to live with me. I was realizing that I do more voices off camera than I do on camera. But the poor people who have to suffer through 24/7 of Ellie have to deal all the time. We're going to leave you off. We're going to leave you off at Hobby Lobby. I mean, all this. I do this constantly. It's totally annoying. Joe Rogan talking about adrenochrome. You never heard? I mean, so what? He's talking about adrenochrome. Are you saying that makes Joe Rogan really relevant? I think Joe Rogan's an idiot. I think he's misleading people. I think I don't know. I just I do. That he talks about adrenochrome, that makes him a big hero. Adrenochrome is just one part of this incredibly disgusting attack on humanity. So let me play a clip that that's probably more in line to our way of thinking. Watching hey Pasquale, man, what's going on, brother? Yeah, I'm outside of the hood. I'm hanging out with my man Lawrence. And I'm starting to they used to call me Big Homie Webbs when I was a teacher. I mean, you lose that out here. This is another reality that I'm living in. It's a wonderful reality. I like it here, but I know how many people here are retired military, and it makes me also want to cry when I go into the grocery store and I see everybody or a lot of people in wheelchairs, in mobile vehicles, or with crutches. So many beautiful, and I see people standing on the street corner asking for spare change that are handsome, pr- could be productive people. And that's why we are starting this community. This community is to help people reintegrate into the republic, into humanity, into being a functional human being, into learning how to take care of chickens, into learning how to garden, how to clone trees, how to build houses, how to filter dirt, how to mine for gold. All these things, this is part of our open classroom that we want to develop in this space. And that's what we're all about up here. That's where we're heading. That's our dream, is to create a place where people can come and recover from living in the matrix. Now, Patty's right. This guy was right. Yes, yes. Joe Rogan talks about adrenochrome, but nobody is talking about the fact that we are living in a matrix. They're talking about it a little bit, but they don't really, in my estimation, they don't really help people understand that, as I said this morning on a video, if you're spending 5 milliseconds of your week in fear about your fill in the blank, car payment, mortgage payment, food bill, if you're still in fear over these things, if you're listening to Fox News expecting to get some morsel of truth, if you're still paying taxes, you're in the matrix. Are people aware of that? You're in the matrix. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's a choice. And we have a choice between this or that. Dolores Cannon said we're going to be splitting into two worlds, the red pill and the blue pill of the matrix is a very real thing. What I feel is that other podcasters don't spend enough time helping people understand that their world, the world they live in, the world of fear, is a complete illusion. It's a complete lie. And I want to show this film because this film, in my opinion, really hits the nail on the head. So let's see if we can find this. Okay, no, I have to. Okay, wait. I have to do this over here. Okay. Let's go to this together because I see another post that looks really good. Let's just scroll a little bit together. Okay. Let me go here and here. Yeah, we dealt with the Great Depression, quantum financial system exposed, the conspiracy. This is the movie I want to watch. I saw another post. Oh, that was on the regular channel. Let me go back to that for a moment because I think that looked very exciting as well. Here we go. No, it's not. Let's see if it's top of this thing. No. Okay, so I didn't. Okay, I didn't get to see that. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Okay, I'm now going to go share this video. Let me see if I can do this in a good way, in an easy way. Okay, here we go. No, that's not. No, that's not the movie. That's too long. They planned. Where was that? Um, yeah, here we go. Okay. Okay, I'm going to share this movie. It's a short clip, but this to me represents the essence. And if Joe Rogan is sharing this, I guess I'm miss. I should be lauding. I should be applauding Joe Rogan for being a real freedom fighter, and I'm not even slightly disturbed by the fact that he gets millions of hits to act surprised that the world is what it is. That's just his shtick. Okay, let's share this little clip together. Let me just read the comments. Everything in the grocery store is poison, and now they're spying and monitoring the dummies. Your dummies, if you go when you go in there. Yes, your content is becoming redundant and predictable. Seems like you repeat yourself a lot. I really appreciate you identifying yourself as an asshole, and don't come back. I know you're a troll. I'm not going to get upset, but goodbye. You think it's repetitive? Then don't watch it. Has the world woken up? You know, I don't think so. I don't see. I don't. We had this nice woman I was telling you a few days ago who came up and said, "What can I eat?" What She was very open to the truth. So, am I redundant? If you don't like what I'm saying, what are you doing here? Go listen to Joe Rogan and be surprised about the adrenochrome. We people on this channel know about adrenochrome for 5 fucking years, you asshole. So anyway, I'm not gonna. Francine told me long ago, don't respond to the trolls. Now let's go to this clip. I think it's not the information, it's the way this is presented that is so important to understand, but it's the information as well. See if you agree with me. We'll talk about it afterwards, but I want you to see this clip because I think it is amazing. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, here we go. Here.
Anunnaki, the reptilians, the draconians. You can trace this shit right back to ancient Egypt, right back to stone walls and tablets that people pretend are just myths, because looking at the literal truth is too uncomfortable. And it loops right back to what we see happening right now. There is zero logical way the things running this world are human. Look around you. What the fuck do you mean data centers and server farmers need to be prioritized over clean drinking water? What kind of species looks at a planet full of life and decides profit and silicone matter more than the blood in our veins? What kind of sickness drinks the literal and figurative blood of the innocent just to keep its grip? Like, that is not human behavior. That is something else entirely. Imagine you're an extraterrestrial entity. You build some advanced-ass spaceship, you cross the stars, and you touch down on this blue rock only to find these goofy flesh and bone creatures building things out of sticks, mud, and raw grit. But then you look closer and you realize these dumbass flesh creatures are actually multi-dimensional gods walking around in skin suit. They carry an infinite spiritual continuum. They can ascend to whatever dimension they want, while your synthetic, cold-ass existence is trapped in a rigid, three-dimensional construct, knowing damn well there's nothing for you on the other side of death. You have to cling to life, because when your body stops, you stop. You'd be mad as hell. You'd be furious. They're jealous. They know how dangerous and impossibly powerful human beings are on every single level. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, creatively. And the sick part is these ruling entities understand universal consciousness just as well as we do. But instead of living in alignment with it, they chose to transmute all that wisdom and higher knowledge straight into darkness and control. They flipped the divine balance on its head and tapped into the lowest, densest vibrational frequency. They've seen what humans are capable of when the switch gets flipped. They know a population of billions of humans operating at 100% of their brain power, fully awake, and remembering who the fuck they are on a soul level could tear down empires, rewrite reality, and shatter their entire control grid overnight. So what do? They do everything in their power to keep us locked in a cage. They engineer a society, a system designed to keep you functioning at 1 to 10% of your capacity, distracted, sedated, exhausted, starving, panicked, stressed, fighting your neighbor over scrap, divided and hooked on screens. Because, a starving, sleep-deprived, bills-obsessed animal doesn't look up at the stars or within at its own divinity. It just tries to survive the week. They need a population that forgets they are multidimensional beings temporarily experiencing physical matter. You can call them what you want, man. Demons, reptilians, fallen angels, the cabal, aliens. Y'all want to know why this history has been buried so deep, why they scrubbed the ancient texts, ridiculed anyone who talks about the Anunnaki or reptilians as crazy, and turned deep spiritual truth into a punchline or a conspiracy theory. I'll tell you why. Because if the average person actually woke up and realized that human history did not start with textbooks and 9-to-5s, that we didn't evolve just to pay taxes, die, and consume, their entire illusion collapses in a single second. They hide the truth about the reptilians and the ancient bloodlines because open knowledge is an existential threat to parasites and demons. Think about it. What do you think humans would do if they realized that the things that run this world aren't even human? If you know what is feeding off your energy, your fear, and your division, you stop playing their game. They keep it hidden in plain sight, mocking it in movies and calling it sci-fi, so that when someone actually speaks the raw truth out loud, everyone else thinks they've lost their minds. It's the ultimate psychological quarantine. Lock the doors from the inside, throw away the key, and convince the prisoners that wanting freedom is a mental illness, or it's just a conspiracy theory. They brainwashed us, because if you want to brainwash an entire civilization of gods, your very first move has to be convincing them that they were never gods in the first place. That they're just meat, just flesh, just disposable worker ants. They didn't win because they were stronger. They won because they convinced us to hand over the keys to our own minds. They can't have us awaken to our own potential. It terrifies them. And the only way out of this trap is to stop looking outward for a savior and wake up to the exact thing they are terrified of you realizing. You are the raw, unadulterated, divine source consciousness they can never replicate. When you stop biting each other over manufactured bullshit and remember what you actually are on a deeper soul level, their whole synthetic machinery starves to death. The only way out is within. This is for entertainment purposes.
Okay, I hope you were able to hear it. But the only way out, there is no savior. There is no savior. No one is coming to save you. Not the Clarity Act, not XRP. But the truth of the matter is, if you were able to hear this film, and I apologize that it wasn't louder and clearer, but you have to go within and you have to understand that you are the one, that you have the power, that you can create whatever you want. Nothing can stop you. Once you get out of their illusion, once you get out of thinking, if I could just spend an hour at this restaurant, I'll be okay. If I could just have a beer, if I could just pay my car payment. When those kinds of thoughts get stuck in your brain, you cannot access your inherent godliness. And I'm sorry if I'm this troll is saying, you're always saying the same thing. Well, yeah, because there's only, the truth is truth is truth. It doesn't change. And the truth is, and I don't know how I know this, but I know it. We are creator gods. We are creator gods. We are creator gods. No one needs to come and save you. Not XRP, not Silver, not the Clarity Act, not Donald J. Trump, not Kabloony Woony, whatever these people are, Jesus, the Mashiach, the Mahdi, none of that shit. You are the one. You have the goods. But we have given the enemy the key, and we don't understand that we are imprisoned in our own minds with fear, with desire, which, I mean, that's a whole nother thing I'm not prepared to get into. But am I repetitious? Yeah. Is Joe Rogan on the cutting edge of reality? You have to decide. It's up to you. That's what the video I put out today. And it got a fair amount of hits. I mean, not as it should be. Millions of people should be listening. In 5 years, 10 years, billions of people will have listened to these stupid little videos that I make in 5 minutes downstairs. But right now, the world is not quite there yet, but they will be soon. You heard it fine. I'm glad. Here again. Thanks, guys. Out of the matrix, living in the city house is paid. I grew up with my own food, all solar, well water. I have T-Mobile and a bank. You don't have to be isolated. Get out, baby steps. Yeah, I agree. You don't have to be isolated. I prefer it. We're not isolated. We're building a community here. This is a place for people to come and recover and learn how important they are to eat. What? Like the veterans. We want to have like the veterans. 22 veterans commit suicide a day, I think it is. It's obscene. They should come up here and work with us and help us build houses, help us with the animals, help us live a clean life without any bullshit religions. We're not here to well, you don't believe in Jesus? I'm like, fuck no. No offense. If you believe in Jesus, if you believe some little Jewish dude, some Jewish carpenter is going to come and save your ass, God bless you, man. I wish I'm jealous. I wish I could believe such nonsense. And I'm just being honest. I know this is not, this is not the kind of thing that most people are even able to listen to. But in 5 years and 10 years, when they understand that the enemy that they live, that this whole thing is not set up by humans. It's not like the Rothschilds are really mean people. I mean, they are. They're horrible, disgusting. I wouldn't call them animals. I wouldn't insult animals. They're disgusting, but they work for what we would call an alien, supernatural, whatever. Some other beings that are not human, that do not have what we have, which is a heart. We have hearts. We have empathy. We have understanding. We are able to unify and help each other. And this is what will save us in the end. They cannot stop the plan. They went into the looking glass and they said, how do we stop these people? They can't stop us. It's our time. But you and I have to wake up to our inherent godly power. Remember, what did they say in the Garden of Eden when Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge? Oh my God, they're going to be like us. Really? That's God? God would say that? They're going to be like us. They're going to have, if they eat from the tree of life, they'll live forever and they'll know what we know. What? That's God? God said that? That's God in the Garden of Eden? I got to throw these people out. They know too much. Are you kidding me? Are you listening to this? Is anybody out there that hears what I'm saying? This is the beginning of all three books: Islam, Christianity, and Yiddishkeit. It all starts with the story in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve got kicked out for eating of the tree of knowledge. And God said they will be like us, not like me, not like singularity, but like us. That sounds like the Anunnaki. That sounds like not God. That sounds like demons. That sounds like reptilians. It sounds like schizoids. If you were a parent, if you love your child, would you want, My child wants to know everything. We can't. We can't have that. I mean, yes, there's some things you don't want children to know about, but you know what I'm saying. This is, and these people are in control. They live. If you haven't seen the movie They Live, I highly recommend it. We're not fighting, Q says it. We are not fighting an enemy of flesh and blood. We're not fighting the Chinese. We're not fighting the Russians. We're not fighting the Ukrainians. We're fighting demonic forces that are non-human. But we got this. We are going to do it. We are going to do this. I am going to transform a hostile environment, a desert environment, into a healing center. That's my goal. That's our goal. I should say our goal, because we're doing it together. We got 4 souls up here, man, that are dedicated not just to the channel, but to the pursuit of freedom. We don't even know what that looks like, but we're going to find out. We're heading in that direction. We're heading for the promised land. We know what direction it is. For us, it's in the direction of working and living and loving the animals and helping the animals just like we help ourselves, of eating clean food that we produce. It's not made by a bunch of sicko demonic forces that just want to make money for you and off you and don't care if you're eating red dye number 6 or seed oils or baby fetal tissue in your McDonald's things. They don't care. They want you to eat. They obviously want you to eat this stuff. They want you to get sick and die, especially if you are awake. So what are we going to do? We are going to do the opposite. You can say Daniela, James, and Larry are saving you as you are saving them. Yes, absolutely. They are definitely here to save us. And they help us in ways we can't necessarily appreciate. I mean, why would you say such a thing, Racing King? That's counting us. Yeah, it's community, but this community will, in my opinion, grow exponentially, and people will come here to understand what life looks like outside the matrix. In a sense, this is no different from the first time after trying to fit into the matrix for many years, I went to a rainbow gathering. There's no talk of food in a rainbow gathering. I don't know what it's like now. Now it may be something else. But when I went, it was heaven on earth. I got up in the morning and I said, what do I want to do today? And I would do it. I met all kinds of cool people. I had all kinds of beautiful experiences. We went to kitchens where you could eat the food without paying money. They would feed you. You could go to tea houses. You could you could go swimming in beautiful places. You could meet beautiful people. It was just, that's where we're heading, in my opinion. Now, at the same time, for that to have been conducted, there had to have been people who are working behind the scenes to develop an infrastructure. And that's what we're doing up here. We're making sure we're applying for a grant from the Chinese elders, essentially, and you could too if you go to this email. You send them an email, and they'll send you a sample humanitarian project, and you put Ellie's Warriors in the subject if you like. But you will apply for a grant. We applied for a grant. We want to dig many wells up here. We want to buy much property. We want to help people build their own housing, not in the way of traditional building. We want to eventually learn more to build like Tartarian structures, great, beautiful structures. They could be simple, modern structures. I am a big fan of Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead. and they were very into modern architecture. I'm very into modern architecture as well. I admire the grandeur of the Tartarian structures. Okay, so with that said, let's keep moving forward. Let me get back to these posts. Yes, send the thing. I did. I sent the thing. I asked for $6 million. I want to buy a bunch of land up here. I want to help people build their own housing, live their own lives. I'll help them dig a well. I'll help them get started. I do not ever, ever, ever want to see a handsome man or woman standing by the corner saying, I need money for food. I never want to see that in my reality. In after Once I get a grant in 5 years, if there's one homeless person in Kingman, I will feel like a failure. Every man, every woman, every family should be able to live without the fear of financial ruin at all times. We are free men. This is our planet. This whole construct with the rents and the mortgages and the payments, this is all a fabrication. And once we reclaim our power, and once we understand who we truly are, that we are like gods, we are gods. And I said to, we had a nice guest, Ed, last night with the crypto show, and he said, Jesus was the son of God. I'm like, I don't buy that. I think we are all the sons and daughters of God. I mean, I think it's obscene that you would think that somebody else is superior in some way and that person can save you. It's sickening to me. You can save yourself. You. Even Jesus said it. You will do more than I will. I know he said that. I don't know the New Testament, but I know he said something like that. He did not want people to be dependent. I mean, that he's the Son of God, that God sacrificed his only son. That's you have to be. I don't know. I'm not going there because I know people are sensitive, and it's not for me to destroy other people's gods. But I don't believe it with Mashiach. The whole Jewish community is waiting for Mashiach to come to save them. I think that's total bullshit. I know the Rebbe said it. I love the Rebbe. I was a student of the Rebbe. I was a chassid of the Rebbe for many years. But I believe each of us has the power to save ourselves, to do what we need to do, and to fulfill our destiny. Now, James's destiny is different from Lawrence's destiny. James is all about plants. He loves plants and animals. Lawrence is a person who understands military things. He understands organizations. He understands cultural things in ways that I don't understand. So we work together. Imagine if we had 50, 100, 1,000, or maybe just 25 people here. All of them living the reality of utopia. All of them, and we are not perfect. We have issues. I was screaming and yelling a few hours ago because of a certain situation that I talked about in the beginning of this program about food. I'm not able to, I don't have the wisdom or the tolerance or whatever, the upbringing to be able to deal with somebody who's finicky about food. It drives me nuts because I was taught from an early age. Now, I'm also was not taught a lot of the things that other people do consider constrictions, but about food, I don't really care. People say, did you like the food? I'm like, it's food. I ate the food. There are certain things that I do love. I love mangoes. I just figured that out. I love grapefruits. I love plums and peaches and nectarines. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent. Raising Cain, do you still pay taxes on your land? Um, one question: how do you stay on the land without having to pay taxes? I do pay taxes. I do pay taxes because I don't want to deal with these idiots. I do pay taxes, yes, and there will come. I don't pay any other taxes, but I do give them because I don't want people coming up here. I don't want inspectors. I don't want people checking out my septic tank and giving me a license. I don't want people checking out my well. It's none of their fucking business. I live here. This is my land. This is actually, it's our land. I don't consider that now. Yesterday we were talking to Ed Hopkins, and he was saying you could make this into like a church thing, and you could get an exemption. If it comes to that, I will do that. But my personal opinion is we are Native Americans. We have paid a lot of money for this land. I mean, not a reasonable amount. We paid money for the land. We've made Kenyan. We've taken possession of the land. We have made improvements on the land. If it is not I do not consider it my land. I consider it our land. I consider James and Lawrence and Daniela to be as and Dan and Diane to be owners of the land as much as anybody else. They own the land. Is it my land? No, it is our land. This is how we'll be living in the future. We are a tribe. We are a consciousness. We are a way of life. We are a republic. We are people who live together, who love together, who have problems together, who solve problems, who laugh together, who cry together. But we are forming our own family. Do I miss my son? Yes. Do I wish my son was living here? Yes, but my son is doing what he needs to do right now. We are family. The family structure has been broken down by these creepy demons. They've forced the families apart. And it's okay. Whatever happens is okay, and we're comfortable with it. But we are building a healing center. And it's not like we're going to sit in the lotus position. We're going to be using hammers and screw guns and cutting boards. And we need a good baker. We need a good cook. We want somebody to come up. I don't charge anybody as of yet. I know my friends are, it'll probably come to that where if people can help, they will help. We will join forces. I donate my pension and my Social Security to the community every month. That's where it goes. That's how we finance this place. I'm okay with that. I'm not thinking, well, I do take out on occasion, not on occasion, on a pretty regular basis. I take out a little bit of money for silver or XRP or something like that. I like to keep investing. I'm a hodler, and I like to, that's something that's for me. Okay, does it mean that's my money? No, it means it's community money. It's that I am taking the time to invest. So if you're feeling like you don't, like, I met a guy in the parking lot the other day. He says, I don't have a house, I don't have a home, I don't own any land. I like to build houses on other people's land and live in them. And I'm like, come up here, man. Come and build a house and live in it. And then when you're tired and you want to go back you'll leave the house and somebody else will live in it. And they'll make improvements on the land. That's how this is a new world up here. And this is real deal, man. And it's hard. We don't have air conditioner. We don't watch TV. We don't have a couch. I don't know if we'll ever have a couch. Yes, there are rattlesnakes up here. We don't, there are scorpions. We don't see that very much because that's not our energy. But this is a place for us to grow into a new community. It's nice that I have a channel and I can express this so that a person like James. James is like, James does not want to have anything to do with the Matrix. He wants to spend his whole life growing and cloning and breeding animals and establishing new plants and figuring out how to deal with plant diseases and pests. And that's his life. I don't ask him to do anything financially. So James, you owe me. We're not doing that. This is freedom. This is freedom from debt slavery. This is a place where somebody could come potentially. Now, will we run out of money? Do we want contributions? Yeah, it would be nice, but we don't care. We don't care. We're not dependent. I'm not gonna sit here and say, I gotta have 50 grand for us to do this thing, and it'll be tax deduction. I don't want it to have anything to do with the Matrix. If I have to, I will do it, but I don't want to. I'm creating a colloidal trust. Right. I don't want to do any of that. I mean, if I have to, I will. But having a trust, that's still the Matrix. That's protecting yourself from the Matrix. I say screw the Matrix completely. Do I pay taxes? Yes, I pay property taxes because I don't want them to bother me. Okay, that's like paying the mafia a protection fee. But am I going to spend time with lawyers when I could be helping to breed the chickens and the ducks and the whatever it is, and making sure the farm is running smoothly, and making sure everybody has what they want, and making sure that, you know, we have a member here who likes to smoke pot. So I bought him some pot today. I mean, I'm like, you should have what you want. And he works hard. He works very hard, but he also enjoys it. He spends time on a cell phone. This is a new world. We have technology up here. We have the goods, and we are creating this place. Am I looking to make lots of money here? I don't give a shit about the fucking money. I don't care. Do I want to have some silver? Do I want to have some gold? Do I want to have some XRP? Yes. Do I care if I have $50,000 in the bank? No, but I want everyone to get fed. And so far, I've been able to feed people on my pension. And somebody else may come and say, you know what? I don't really want to live in an active living home. I don't want to do that. I'd rather go up with Ellie. Yeah, they don't have air conditioning yet. We will eventually. We'll have everything. But I'm going to come up. I'm going to put my pension in with Ellie's, and we'll buy food for the community. That's what we're doing up here. Is this airy-fairy nonsense? I don't think so. I think this is real deal. I think the Matrix is airy-fairy nonsense. Oh, you got to pay your car bill, and you got to pay this, and we still have to buy gasoline. We still have to buy food. We dropped $100 on food today. But anyway, there's no manual for any of this. We're the visionaries who created. Yes, JD, you're always on the money. We are creating a new world. This is what I'm doing. Am I a leader? To whatever degree I'm a leader, I am a leader. Yes, I sweat the details, man. I'm the one who washes the dishes every night. Not because I'm some heroic dude, but because I don't want any problems, any unnecessary problems. It's beautiful, man. I mean, are we living here in absolute nirvana and joy? I wouldn't say so. But it's okay. They got their cots up here on the second floor, man. My boys are sleeping up here. And we sleep downstairs. And soon we're going to move the RV out of the way. Do we know what we're doing? Like JD says, no. You know, I'm lucky that I have a teacher's pension, man. They threw me under the bus, but I still got my pension. I worked for 20 years for those assholes. Those criminals, really criminals. And I get paid. So Baruch Hashem. And I choose to spend my pension on my developing a community. I could be in a basement somewhere broadcasting like I was doing in New York and spend my money on Daniela and I to the degree that we can. But like JD says, do I know what we're doing? No. We only work as far as the next step. I don't really think so much about what am I my 5-year plan, my 2-year plan. I'm just working on what am I going to do today to help promote and build a community here. Um, if it's in your name, it's your land, and right, you will be the responsible party. Right. You know what? I don't even want you on my channel. Goodbye. Uh, thank you. Thank you for coming and thank you for going because raging, whatever your name is, you don't get the point. You don't understand. Um, yeah. Yes. Okay. Goodbye. Yeah. You're right. In the Matrix, I could worry. It's in. It's not in my. It's in an LLC. Okay. So does that make you guys happy? These trolls. They want. Oh yeah, but this. We could still be afraid. We could still worry about car payments. I don't. Yes, you could live in the Matrix, and if you choose that, I respect you. I love you. And I can't go back there. There's no way that I will ever be able to go back to the Matrix. I'm lucky enough that by following divine providence, by working with my own inner standing, I was able to create this situation. And you guys have been with me the whole time. I didn't just like come into a lot of money and I'm blowing smoke up everyone's ass. We went through this. We lived out here for 2 years without a well. We brought up our own water almost every day. I mean, we know we've struggled and we've survived, and now we are growing, and that's just by divine providence. James came up here. I didn't know James from a hole in the wall. James came up here with a bunch of trees, a bunch of seeds. He's like, I don't want to live in the Matrix. I want to work with the plants and the animals. I'm like, come on, man. I'll spend my pension on that. We bought James some clothes today. He needs clothes. Well, you're gonna owe me. We don't do that. We don't live in the Matrix. James, you owe me $35 for the clothes I bought you. We're not going to do that. He needs clothes. He needs clothes. He gives us himself. He gives everything to the community. Everything, his life. So he needed a base. He needed to go back to California to get his base out of Hawk. I'm like, come on, man, let's rent a car. He said to me, he says, well, now it's your base. I don't think of it that way. I said, James, it's your base, man. You went and got it. I paid for it. Yeah, I'm like, you do everything here. This is the real world. This is not the Matrix. Not you owe me 57 cents and I'm going to pay. That's the world that we're leaving behind. Is it going to work out for us? We could run into problems. There could be, God forbid. I don't even want to talk about what kind of issues we could have. But so far, so good, man. There's no manual for any of this, right? That JD's 100% on. And if you want to join us and this resonates with you and you say, hey man, what am I doing? I'm living in a basement somewhere. I don't have any community. I don't know. I have no one to talk to. And I'd like to go up and hang out with Ellie and Daniela and Larry and Lawrence and James and see what I can do to help. If you know how to make sourdough bread and you know how to cook for 4 or 5, if you come, that'll be 5 people. And we're getting a sink, we're getting a refrigerator, we're doing it. So if you want to be part of the new world, if you want to be one of the visionaries that starts a new world outside of the Matrix, we would appreciate it if people who are vaccinated. We don't so much want people that are vaccinated, but in this day and age, you have to use what you have. There are people that were innocent victims, and that there are side effects to the vaccines that we don't emotional side effects. So we don't really want around us. But if you got grit, the main thing is if you got grit and you want to live a new life and you're tired of the Matrix, come on, man. Or buy a property adjacent to us. But if you got some money, you made some money on silver, buy the place next door and be our neighbor. We want to populate this land with people who are out of the Matrix, people who live in the real world. This, to me, this is the real world. I am a Native American. I am Navajo. I am I am Jewish. I am whatever. I don't care what you think I am. It doesn't matter. I'm not any category that I know of. I am here to start a tribe of people who want to live on the land together. Is it always, I'm a loner. I mean, I'm of that type that I'm a, whatever name you want, starseed or whatever, empathetic, whatever that is. I mean, yeah, I need alone time, but I get it. I get it. If I need to be alone, I'll just say, look, guys, man, I need to. This is really my alone time. This is my time to do what I want to do, to think about. But if you're thinking it's all about liberation of your mind, okay, that is the bottom line. If you're spending 2 seconds of your week worrying, fearing, then you're still in the matrix, and you need to get out. You need to get out, in my opinion. If you're there, if you can deal with a little bit of fear, and you figured out a way to make peace with that, that's fine too. You don't have to come out here to be liberated. And we had people out here the other day, and they're like, this is just too much for us. They live very much in a way that's similar to off grid, but they're right by the highway, and they're just like, it's too remote. It's too remote for most people. But if you resonate with this, I mean, I'm a nature boy, man. I mean, I'm like home. I live in my home. I live in. Daniela always wants to go for vacations, to visit this. I'm on vacation 24/7. I'm already in the place I want to be. I don't have to go anywhere. Yeah. And yes, you have to climb a ladder to come up to my studio. Yeah, I appreciate it, JD. Still pay tax on your land. Yeah, I just one question: how do you stay on all that land without having to pay? Yeah, I do pay taxes. So ZebTag, you're okay, man. I don't need the guilt trips. Well, what about this? What about that? It's like, screw you. Go back to your fucking matrix and leave us alone. Yes, we are pioneers. Yes, we are doing something that no one's ever done before, and we're going to do it. I mean, the hippies did it to some extent, but it didn't work out for them because whatever, you know. I was involved with that to some degree. I told my mom. My mom has sent us money. My mom sends me money. I'm 71 years old. My mom is, she just sent me. I don't have any inheritance, so I'm like, Mom, we need a new sink. We need a sink. And I said to my mom, I was talking to my mom a few hours ago or an hour ago. I said, Mom, I feel like I'm back in high school. I love this life. It's like I got friends, yes, some smoke pot. We don't drink up here. We don't do any drink. I don't want to have anyone who drinks. That's kind of like, is it good for Shabbos? I don't know. I'm an alcoholic, so I'd rather not have anyone who needs to drink. If you need to drink, you probably wouldn't like it up here anyway. But yeah, I appreciate it, JD. That's really sweet of you to say that. There's no manual for this. But look, I got a second floor. I got the studio of my dreams. Look at this view here, right? I'm on vacation 24/7. I'm living with the people that love to do what I do and like me, and I like them. And we have fun together. We eat wonderful meals every night. We have wonderful meals, and it's just such an important part of our time together. And we go to town together, and we have adventures. And right, baby.
Your hair's a mess.
My hair's a mess, right? Poor Daniela. She's trying to make a mensch out of me, and good luck. But yeah. So okay, so I don't know. I think I've said enough. I mean, we could go through the news. We could go through what other people think. We could go see what Joe Rogan has come up with. Surprise, surprise, adrenochrome. You know, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, these trolls are impressed by that. But I really appreciate what JD. It's amazing watching how far you've come. Yeah, thank you, Grandma Linda. And I appreciate your support, man, all through all this. But if you want to come up here, you want to visit us for one day. We had a woman come up for one night. She came up. She was DoorDash. Nice person, very nice person. She may want to come back someday, but she had to go back to the Matrix because she wanted to keep her car. You know, if you got stuff, this may not be the place for you. James came with the car and his everything he owns. He had this bass guitar. He went back and got the bass guitar, and he's cloning trees. We're growing trees. We went and we invested in 2 cupfuls of earthworms, of night crawlers for the garden and for sale. And we now have some kind of larval beetles that we're growing, which could be a huge cash crop. We don't know how we're going to make a living, but we know we're going to make a living. This is an investment. You know, like, it's wonderful. I love the idea of thinking to myself, it's like, what do you really do? I'm an investor. I invest in, when I have a little money I have, XRP, XLM, ISO 222 coins, silver, gold, land, chickens, fertilized, not fertilized, organic dirt, fencing. This is the grant that I applied to the Chinese elders. I want to get, if you can help us out to create a huge healing community, it doesn't have to be huge. It could be small, but we are here to make sure that in the future, there are no homeless guys, no handsome guys that are able-bodied men standing on the street corner in Kingman, wasting their lives away when they could be up here working and talking and being and eating and sharing and creating. This is a place for creators. And yes, was it okay to live by the ocean? Yeah, like Grandma Linda says, I've come a long way. I didn't know this is. I didn't have any of this in my mind. It's just that this is where the divine wanted me to go. So I go with it because I am open in my mind, because I'm not thinking about getting drunk. I'm not thinking too much about, that. I mean, I like Daniela, and we have a nice relationship, but I don't think about it all the time like I used to. But I think about what do I have to do next? I don't think about, well, I want a house here. I mean, sometimes James and I and Lawrence will say, well, we want to have trees down here. We want to have a house over there. We want to put a well over there. Sometimes we'll do that because it's part of the manifestation process. But in general, we're like, okay, we got to go to town today. We need this, this, and this. Oh yeah, don't let me forget to get the safety goggles. We got safety goggles so I could take off my glasses when I work. We bought a bunch of stuff. We went to the mailroom. We got perlite. We got a big bag of perlite and some netting for the. We've been battling these black beetles up here that are eating our tomato leaves. We have to find a way. I fought them for the last 2 years, so I've been fighting these beetles. But we'll find a way. We'll figure it out. We have 2 just delicious, wonderful turkeys. I just enjoy sharing the same land with these animals. They're so beautiful and so wide-eyed, innocent, loving, just unconditional loving. We have a skunk that likes to eat our poultry. It's also a beautiful animal. How do we deal with it? Well, we create poultry pens that have wire built into them so that the skunk will have a harder time. Amazing animal, digging in. Yeah, thank you, baby. Um, but yeah, man, I mean, this is the life. We're at the precipice. We're at the, you can go. Dolores Cannon said we're splitting into two worlds, right? Those who want to live in the matrix, God bless you, man. Good, have at it. But those of us who want to live in the promised land, beyond the midbar, beyond the desert, in total freedom, and there have been billions of people exterminated by these creeps. Who does that? Right, that's what the movie says. Who does that? Well, it's not other humans. These are sick creatures that do not have what we have, which is the ability to create, the ability to love, the ability to dream, and above all, the ability to do. This is, in my opinion, the holiest part of us. And if you're spending your life doing like paying bills and worrying about the mortgage and talking to your lawyer and talking to T-Mobile, that's not called doing. That's called being in the matrix. But doing, like building something with your hands, growing a tree, watering a tree, feeding the chickens, taking an egg out of the chicken house for the community, going to town together to buy the things that we need to create our next wave of paradise. You know, we're building a house in the desert with nothing, with a pension, with Social Security. We managed to get all this wood because it was cheap, because it was all crooked. And I managed to slap together some kind of a building, which Lawrence is he's helping me rethink it in some ways. We're adding on. He begged me yesterday, he and Daniela begged me. I wanted to put a high ceiling in the middle of this Earthship for trees, but they begged me to continue with the second floor. So I said, okay, fine. If that's what, you think it'll help structurally, okay. I mean, this is how we do things. We don't, well, no, that's against the plan. That's the Matrix. That's the creepazoids. That's the aliens that are running the world. We don't go there. We're flexible. We're able to create and love and fight sometimes. Sometimes we argue. Sometimes we pick on each other. That's just, but we're human, and we're building. We're leaving the Matrix, building a house, building in the promised land. So anyway, we all need to follow our calling, being a leader of our own life. Yeah, I think so. That is true freedom, 100%, 100%. I just want it will be successful because your determination, and thank you for motivating me. I am currently looking for my land. I think that's great, JD. If you want to come up here, man, there's some great deals. If you could buy a lot of land for really cheap, and some of them already have wells and septic systems on them. This land is not for everyone. You have to have real grit. But on the other hand, there is a swimming hole nearby. It has a, and I think the weather is going to change. I think we're going to get a lot more rain once the environment has a chance to heal. But yeah, there's no man. Yeah, I appreciate, JD, all your comments, Grandma Linda. Why are you so angry? You are an open book, and that's one of the trolls. Yes, block him on YouTube. Okay, and let's go back and add him to Restream Blog. Yes. Okay, we'll never hear from you again. This guy keeps repeating. He's got nothing better to do than to bother me. But okay, I'm not into it. Am I so angry? Spray garlic. We have sprayed garlic, and it has not been as successful as we hoped. Thank you for your wisdom and knowledge. It is definitely needed right now in this time of season. Thank you so much, Zebzag. And JD, sorry, late to class. Okay, tribal man. This is tribal. We are a new tribe. Dig the view. Nice job on your upper deck. Thank you. Where is the location? It is in northern Arizona. I picked this climate because it's very dry. I didn't realize I was in the middle of the Mojave Desert. Keep fighting to make your points clear. Thank you, Grandma Linda. We're living without money, without keeping score and how much you owe me for the dinner. And, it's like, if you want to come up here and you got money, come and help us. Like Diane, man. Diane's a friggin' saint. I love Diane. I really seriously love Diane. That she just came, she just said, you need this money? Take it. And I said, okay, you own the lower 80 acres, but she's giving me a year. Hopefully I'll be able to, hopefully XRP or one of these things, so the dinars will go through the roof and I'll be able to pay her back. But that is called love. She's been on the channel for many years. She knows who I am. She's not scared that I'm a scammer. Anyway, keep fighting. Thank you, Grandma Linda. But we're in northern Arizona. I love it here. I love it, man. This is the Wild West. We live in the Wild West, and it's. I don't generally carry a gun because I'm not afraid, and I don't feel like there's any threats out here whatsoever. I had to use my gun only one time, and that's because a rattlesnake came into my house. But now that I have James here, if that had happened again, James could just figure out a way to get the snake outside. We probably wouldn't kill it. It's not about killing, I don't know. Anyway, we're just going one step at a time. Please, I want to thank everyone and just remind everyone the incredible healing benefits of LifeWave. The X2O machine, people haven't really tried it. People haven't been buying it. It is fucking monstrous. It is like I sleep through the night. I could drink one of these things of water before I go to sleep, and I do not get up during the night. I sleep through the night because of the X2. That's the only thing I can figure out. The patches, I love the patches too. This is health. If you're spending money on health insurance, stop and buy some patches. Go talk and call Dr. Stacy. She's amazing. She's amazing. She's an amazing person. She just is consistent. She will return your calls. She's, is she making money? Yes. And does she deserve it? Yes. She works so hard, and she's got grit and determination, and she's not afraid to hang in there and do the same thing over and over again, just like I do my videos every day, whether I can afford, whether I have time or not. Okay, it's getting late. Daniela's getting hungry. We're all getting hungry. Tonight we're going to peel our zucchinis because James said last night the shell, we have some big zucchinis, so you have to take the skin off. We're probably going to have some beef bratwurst and tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, and tomato sauce. And now Daniela has allowed the community to start eating organic pasta from Italy. So we have pasta with butter, lots of butter and garlic, and we have a friend who made us some sourdough bread. If there's anybody out there who wants to cook for us, cook with us. We cook together, we wash together, we build together, and yet we do it separately. Like I don't hone in on what I just said. James, whatever materials you need, I will order. That's how it is with James, because I know James. Same with Larry, Lawrence. To Larry. And if you met Lawrence, you would not call him Larry. He's how tall is he? 6'3". He weighs what, like two? He's like a bodybuilder, and he's covered with tattoos, and he's a military dude. You would not, he told me before he came here, I was scared that he'd be like a psycho killer because he looks like one, but he's undercover, so he has to look that way. But gentlest, sweetest person I've ever met. Anyway, love you guys, man. Love yourselves. Understand that the enemy does not want us to know who we really are. We are Neo. We are the one. Nothing can stop what's coming. Oh yeah. So call Dr. Stacy. She will reach out to you. You will get to talk to her, which is a big deal. She knows a lot. Okay, so I said that. Join the Republic. This, I think, is also a very important project. republicforusa.org. Please join in the upper corner. They'll ask you to volunteer. It's great to be part of a real local government, because in the end, we will be governing ourselves. We are creating a tribe, man. This is a tribe. You guys are part of my tribe. And we're not putting up with the bullshit that these sham beings are, have been perpetrating against us all these years. So, thanks for being here. I hope I wasn't too. The trolls find me monotonous, but I think these things need to be spoken clearly and repeated, and we all need to encourage each other to leave the matrix in whatever that means for you. It can mean doing everything you usually do, but maybe changing one little thing. You have to follow your own inner standing. Let's play the tune. Let's do the Matrix thing. I'm sorry, Grandma Linda. I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to do Language of the Heart, but yeah, let's do. Thanks, JD. We love you too. Let's do Leaving the Matrix, because I feel kind of fiery tonight. Let's see.
Living in the city, I was paying down my bills. One flat tire and the whole thing went to hell. Credit cards for groceries, I'm deep in debt again. It's time to split this scene, walk with you, my friend. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land. Stopped paying taxes, your insurance I don't need. The medicines are killing us, hospitals grow like weeds. Moving to paradise, I don't need no gassy cars. Fake news, endless wars, a satanic legal bar. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. My friends all tell me I lost control. Left my wife and job just to run down rabbit holes. But I can tell you one thing about my fall. Where we go one, we go all. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go to together, playing with the band, leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land, leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land.
So anyway, thank you. If you want to reach out to us, you could check out Daniela's Instagram. You can reach her. She's probably the best way to reach me. And if you want to come up here, you want to spend some time, and you don't have any issues. If you're not, if you want to chill with the homies, man, let us know. So and we're definitely looking for somebody to help us with the food situation. Somebody who loves food the way James loves agriculture and animals. That's his whole life. And if you want to come up here and just prepare, help us. We only eat 2 meals a day. We have fruit in the afternoon, and then we have a bigger meal. You'd only have. Daniela eats more than 2. You'd have to work with Daniela, which is. You'd be saving me a lot of sorrows if you were to help Daniela with her food issues. Because it's something that I can't really comprehend. But if you feel like you just want to dedicate yourself to hanging out with the homies and cooking, and helping us organize and order stuff. And you don't want to deal with rent or car payments or anything like that, drop us a line. Come on up. I'd like to get some female energy up here as well, but we got the guys here, and we have Daniela, so she's our boss. She tells us what to do, as it should be, because the woman is really at least in the Yiddish tradition. The woman is the boss of the home. A real husband in that community does not mess with his wife in terms of dealing with the house and the children. So, at any rate, I don't have a patch for fertility, but we're working on stuff. We really want to have. We want to have that. We're even though I'm a little bit on the, chronologically on the older side. There's no reason why we can't have offspring, so we're working on that. At any rate, use the force. Use the force. The enemy is afraid of you using the force. If you need to see that video again, which I highly recommend, it's on my X stream. I post all these things on X. It's eWebstar13 on X. You could join there. But just love yourself. Give yourself the power. Step outside of the fear world, the fear and the escape world, and step into the real world of creation and love and communication and dreams coming true and doing, like building and sewing and cooking and cleaning and watering plants and animals and all this cool stuff, man. It's part of being a human and building a collective consciousness that understands the reality of this, the real reality of this world. So use the force, use the source, be a creator. If you want to come up here and create with us, come on, man. Just come on, drop your shit and come on up. So that's it. We will see you tomorrow. Is conspiracy night. I don't know exactly who's coming, but I think they have. Adrian's coming. Okay, so Adrian's coming. Adrian's she's just an amazing person. She's just so super loving and kind and encouraging. So Adrian, at least is Patricia coming? Patricia had some technical difficulties with the computer. If we lived in a real, if we were together, we would send Patricia whatever she needs to communicate, because she is a very, very important soul in my opinion. So let's get out there with a big smile on our face. You can reach Daniela through her Instagram. We're looking for more people to join her Instagram channel so that we can go live on Instagram. But let's get out there with a big smile on our face. We'll see you tomorrow night. Actually, oh, and during the day I have Patriot Hour, which I forget who's going to be on, but they're very good guests. Adrian also on Patriot Hour or the Conspiracy or both. Probably both. Okay, Adrian's she's very good at this sort of thing. She has a lot of experience. She was a key player in the Art Bell show, so she's an amazing resource. So let's get out there with a big smile on our face and rock the world.